the actual version of the Airjeep 9106, the 16-inch desk fan. This one is from 2005, and this was recently purchased. So please give me your guesses down in the comments and tell me how much you think this fan was. But yeah, it was bought from several miles away from my house, and I had a nice trip going there and coming back. And that was the day I went to the heliport to take a video of those helicopters. And that video is on my channel, so please check that one out. But anyways, this fan was very dirty when I got it, and it was dirty on the pictures too. And I don't know where this thing was stored, but it was stored for a very long time, and I can just tell. And if you take one look, so this is after I cleaned it up, and this is when I knew this was barely used, or it was not used directly in front of a window, because the thing just looks brand new. I'm not even kidding. The guard was a bit corroded, but I got all of that corrosion off, and it now looks like it came out of the box. But the rest of the fan pretty much came out of the box like that. So. The badge, I buffed it. I used a 3000 grit sandpaper to make it look very glossy, and it actually makes it look a bit better. So let's take a look. It's got that older style motor cover, and to me these motor covers, they look really professional. I just like how they look. These older style Lascos. 2005 will be the last year Lasco used this motor cover, so I'm glad they didn't fade away like in the year 2000, but I'm actually glad they made them for several years more. But you can see how white this is. Look at the oscillation knob and the neck bracket. They're both really white. It's not even, that's how telling it is that this was not used in the direct sunlight. That switch off doesn't seem to have any problems. The base, looks glossy new. The informations are down at the bottom. So this one is oh come on. It's a bit blurry, sorry about that. This one's a Type 16-1 model 9106A. I don't know what that number in the middle is, but it carries 120 volts, 0.7 amps, 60 hertz. And it has another number down there. UL listed 154C. But yeah, let's take a closer look at the power cord. So this uses a 3-prong power cord, but the third prong at the bottom was chopped off, and it's understandable. And that's because, like, in most houses, not many houses have these outlet sockets that are compatible for 3-prong power cords. So what people would do is that they would just chop it off and just plug it in like that. But this is the first version of the blue plug, and it's clear. So apparently Lasco used these old style clock radio power cords in the inside, and this is where the thermal fuse is. And they clearly don't want you getting in this thing, because otherwise why would they put this entire thing around? But yeah, these two are pretty much the same cords that Lasco used back in the 70s, the 80s, and the early 90s. So I'm surprised that they didn't change this a lot. But, well, it's nice. This thing used to be covered in paint, so I had some time to take it off. Let's plug it back in. So, about the badge, it kind of looks boring to me. But I said before, the glossiness of me buffing it actually looks a bit nicer. I actually prefer these badges, these steering wheel badges. These are very nostalgic to me, because I saw these a lot in the hospitals a lot more than these ones did. But anyways, I'm going to set this down, and I'm going to start a speed one. So I'm gonna say this right now, and as the lady was coming out of the door and she was about to give me the fan, I noticed I heard the power of it, and it runs faster than the Lasco 2016. And that's despite having a thinner blade than the 2016. But these fans use more powerful motors than the regular 2016s did. And that's because these fans will be used in large conference rooms, large classrooms, I guess, waiting rooms, and I would say large bedrooms if you were to use these in the house. But they're more powerful than the Lasco 2016. And that's impressive considering the time and era that this thing was made. So, here's speed 2. But this fan has an issue with the guard. And apparently Lasco has the tendency to not make these correctly. And it has been an issue since the real plastic guard was introduced. And it's still a problem today on some of the models that use the back guard, which is why they just stopped using it completely and got new ones. And the problem would be that the front guard would not fit properly in the back guard. Like, the back guard would either be too big or too small. There are rare cases that they fit perfectly, like that one up there. But this one, it fits loosely. And I don't know why, but it just does. So, now for speed 3. Well, the front guard might be loose, but at least I'm glad it's not making noise. It's not rattling or anything. But it is very powerful, and this thing circulates a lot of air. And I'm really glad I purchased this for the price I got it for, because these things, they're very expensive. They just went crazy with the price. The lowest is like 42 bucks, but the highest is like $82. That is crazy for a product that probably used to cost like maybe 30 bucks back in the 90s or something. And they made those better back then too. Well, I'm gonna gauge the oscillation now. The oscillation actually runs smooth, and I'm glad about that. But yeah, again, it was barely used. I can see that the oscillation is not that much. It's like about 85 degrees than a full 90-degree oscillation. But still good range. So I'm going back to speed 2. And yeah, speed 2 is like a high speed on the other fan. And that shows you how powerful this motor is. But this was like the least expected of the condition of the fan. It's brand new. And I'm glad I just got it brand new. That's a rare case. Like many fans, I don't get them brand new. They're either one, they're really dirty, or they're really dirty and they're deteriorating, or they're in very good condition but some parts are broken. But one in this condition, it's just not really easy to find. So I'm surprised I found it in this condition. Back to speed 1. Now I will disengage the oscillation and turn it off, so here we go. That's a very decent spin onto it. And that's because I moved the gearbox a little bit to the left side and I oiled bearing, so yeah. But that's the Air 9106 16-inch desk fan from 2005. Thank you for watching.